This is a story that I think could take over the sports world if they actually execute this plan. You are going to get the old school versus the new school, smart versus sad, all of these things thrown into one discussion on the Dallas Mavericks with two of the biggest superstars in the league purposely shutting it down. And then you're going to get Adam Silver probably commenting on this.
Yeah.
If it actually happens. I think Cuban, the last time he talked about this openly, he got fined $600K.
Yeah.
He got fined $600,000 by the NBA. This was 2017, 2018. And he said, quote, "I'm probably not supposed to say this, but I had dinner with a bunch of our guys the other night. We weren't competing for the playoffs. I said, look, losing is our best option. Adam Silver would hate to be hearing it, but at least I sat down and explained it to them, and I explained what our plans are going to be this summer, that we're not going to tank again." This story has 13 different layers to it.
Oh my, it's so many. Like, what this is, just take it from the fans' perspective. Okay, you essentially wasted 79 games watching this team. If you watched them all, even if you didn't, you still wasted 6 months for them to have a chance at the postseason and decide to sit everybody. It's a complete affront to being a fan. It is, you wasted 6 months of your life watching this team, and then when they have a chance to get there, they say, "Nah, we're good." Like, that's disgraceful in how you would treat a fan.
I think this sets up for a poll question. Bobby, maybe you won't be afraid to put this one out there today like you did with the women's tournament.
I just want to say that the one I sent out last time, you were too afraid to put out. That's why I had to put it out.
My Twitter and social media reaction from the Tolos is supporting this. That's why I kind of want to just put out a poll question.
I think the majority of the fan base would say get the pick. Because they're bad. They're like, I mean, you mentioned wasting time. They have a very decent shot of, even if they play everybody, they're out.
Oh, of course they do.
It'll be just as wasted. So I think they just feel like rest the guys up, guarantee the pick.
They of course they have a decent chance, but the playoffs in the NBA is a half court game, and that is where Luka thrives, in the half court game. Where this team, where you can have the individual player, the guy who go get you a basket in a playoff game. There's a reason they made the West Finals last year. There is that. When you have the best player on the floor in a basketball game, you've got a chance. And they basically do. In most every game they play, they have the best player on the floor.
This is such a sad, tremendous indictment of athletes today. If they went to Kyrie, it'd be one thing if it was Cuban and Nico, but if they went to Kyrie and Luka, and if they signed off on this, Michael Jordan rolling in his grave.
How many? Yeah,
disgraceful. If they're like, because you're supposed to think, right?
You can do it every game.
I can do it every game. Just get me in. You think LeBron is thinking this? LeBron is thinking they can win the title right now with his return and the Lakers. He may be delusional, but it's just the mindset, as Corey Majors, one of his favorite words. It's just the mindset, and the belief that you give me any type of weapon in this fight, and I can kill you.
LeBron feels that if he's on the floor, they got a chance to win.
Yep.
Every game. And
wow.
Look,
I just want to know Luka and Kyrie's reaction to it. Because I was first worried yesterday initially about, all right, this is sending Kyrie out of here.
Mm-hmm.
You just packed his bags for him. You just told him, we don't believe you can get it done, and we're just going to quit. We're going to quit on the season and hope that a draft pick can come here and save us. Wembanyama, we can go ahead and get a chance at him.
Wemby.
And I'm dying to know what Kyrie's natural, authentic reaction was to it.
Who thinks, A, they're going to get the cold envelope? Okay.
Stop it, Patrick
Who
Ewing.
thinks they're going to get the cold envelope?
Right.
All right, nobody. And secondly, don't give me, I know Shan's brought the 3 picks. Don't give me this. You really think the Mavs are going to get anybody to come here? We have, how many, seriously, how
they
many
won't have a
times?
choice if you trade the picks.
They're going to get Draymond and LeBron.
How many times have we been fooled? And the powder's dry. Now we get the powder dry. How many times are we going to get fooled here?
But that's not for free agency. This would be for a trade. And right now we have the 10th worst record in the league. 877-881-1053. We may even take calls on this at 8 o'clock this morning. I know overall it's the smart thing to do. You got to know what reality is, right? You got to see the train coming or the train falling over these days in this country. And I know it's the smart. It just doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel right when your two horses are healthy. So we have the 10th worst record in the NBA. We're 20.5 back. Well, there's a chance you lose these three. Maybe you can have the 6th worst record. So now you're talking about not just the top 4 pick. You're talking about the sweepstakes for the next LeBron James. And that's what everyone thinks that this kid is. So let's take it to the other side. You missed the playoffs. You were going to get run anyway. Give Luka some rest. The guy's been running on fumes for 2 years, playing his offseason schedule and partying and drinking. And you give Kyrie time. You get yourself a chance with the front office to get rebounders, get defensive players, and then you get a top 4 stud, and all of a sudden you feel like you hit a reset button for hope.
If they were out of the playoffs already, obviously tank. Get it. It's to me, if you've got a chance to get into the playoffs, you gotta fight your way to get in. You gotta at least try to get in. That's just my opinion. Like, I would tank if I wasn't in them already. If I was out of them by January, I would just basically fake Luka injury for the next 3 months and just go. Yeah, to me, if you're this close and look, they're still on the outside looking in.
Yeah.
Okay, it's still
with binoculars.
Yeah, I mean, they basically got to go 3-0 and hope the other team goes. I hope OKC goes 1-2. But if that happens, then they get in.
But also think about it like this. Like, I mean, I know we're talking about, hey, you've got a shot at like being in that lottery to get number 1 or get number 4. It's not even like totally about that for me. Like, this is about being number 10 or having no capital. Like, even 10. This is 10 versus nothing. If you finish right at the edge of the play-in and are out, New York gets your pick and you're done. Like, it's about adding another young asset to go with Jaden Hardy, Josh Green, Kyrie, Luka.
That's what Luka's supposed to. He's supposed to bring all these guys in here. He's supposed to come on and play with them.
By the way, I wonder, you mentioned how Kyrie would feel about this. With how cerebral Kyrie is about everything and how like high his basketball IQ is, I wonder if he'd be in favor of it just from the perspective of we've just started playing together. Chemistry's not there. We're not going to be able to figure out this chemistry before then. The smart basketball move is to do this.
Shams then added, they have to bring Kyrie back or it would be devastating.
When it comes to Kyrie Irving, they gave up 2 starters, a first-round draft pick, and they gave up multiple second-round picks for him. So, like Chandler said, to not bring him back, I think would be so much more devastating for that organization than bringing him back. I think the feeling that you would have if Kyrie Irving walks, let's say to a Phoenix or to a Clippers or another organization, and you don't get anything back for him, there's no such thing for the Mavericks as, let's see how life is with no Kyrie Irving, and let's see if this team is better. Because at that point, you literally reach rock bottom, and then you're looking at Luka. Like, you literally have to look into rebuilding because there's no way to maximize that roster hold and that money from a financial perspective. So I still believe the Mavericks' first and foremost priority this offseason is bringing back Kyrie Irving on a deal. And then from there, you have 3 first-round picks. You have salaries to go out in the marketplace, whether you want to go get a star player, whether you want to get other rotation type of guys. They clearly need bodies in the front court, on the wing. So you have to try to rebuild this team around those 2 guys and figure out what kind of talent you can get in here. Luka Doncic is still under contract with a player option through 2026. So it's not like they're here with kind of the time running out on Luka Doncic.
Bobby put this out 4 minutes ago. It's got 55 votes already. It's 6:12 in the morning.
Bro.
82% are voting tank. 82%. All right, let's be in the Mavs room. Cuban, Nico, Kid. Raise your hand for tank. 2 out of 3. You're not raising your hand, Choppy?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I would tell you if
you got team building, which you say you're the king of, versus competitive spirit. The spirit of the sport, the spirit of the game.
Yeah, like if I have a chance, if I have a chance to make the postseason, I'm going to try to make the postseason. If I don't, then I'm just going to tank it out, right? And until they have that, now obviously if they get eliminated, then go ahead and sit them, and then try to lose. Because if they get eliminated, that probably means they lost anyway.
I mean, let's be honest. Like, you've been gifted this play-in opportunity, but like in reality, 4 years ago, we're talking about they already are eliminated.
They already
but
are
like
eliminated.
that, and that's the thing. I think you got to think of it in those terms. Even if they get into the play-in, they are not. There is zero chance they're going on a run that gets them to the title from the play-in. That's not happening. That is 0%.
Well,
They're not going from 10 and winning the West.
oh, I don't think they're gonna. No, I don't think they're gonna win the West. I'm just saying, like they could get to the second round.
Ooh, I don't think so.
Who would you face? Memphis, Denver.
You'd be Denver.
Denver probably. I can't imagine they could get to the 7.
This is from The Athletic. The other day when they were ranking the NBA draft prospects and we're talking about this tanking, they said the 2024 class is expected to be one of the weakest in recent memory for scouts. That's next year. From the top all the way through the lottery. The 2023 draft, by contrast, is seen as a strong class through the lottery and into the teens, but tapers off and has a lot of questions due to the lack of emergence from upperclassmen. So, I mean, yeah, you get into the play-in, lose your pick to New York, you have it next year, and then you're in one of the weaker draft classes in recent memory.